It's another beautiful rainy morning here today on Valley View Homestead. Hi, I'm Megan, welcome. I'm a homemaker, homeschooling mum, and a learning fledgling homesteader here in New South Wales, Australia. On my channel, I like to share homemaking, homesteading, home rhythms, just all the things around home. I have 6 children aged from baby through to teens. So I spend quite a bit of time in the kitchen, cooking for them, baking for them, and just making sure everybody is always well fed. So this morning is starting with strawberry milk. What we've got here is frozen strawberries. I just put them in a glass jar, top them with about 2 tablespoons of pure honey. I also add just a little vanilla essence. That's what gives it that real milkshake flavor, which makes them just love it. And topped with milk there. I just blitz it up until it is smooth, and the kids all enjoy that as a breakfast treat while I am still waking up in the morning. Something that I love about having this as a snack is how versatile it is. So often we will have it as a chocolate milkshake, so basically all we have to do is swap out cacao for those strawberries. And there's also plain vanilla, which is just vanilla essence, milk, some ice is really nice in that one, and honey again to sweeten. I'm sure there are so many different ways to enjoy this at home as well. And it really is just a nourishing, easy and filling snack, breakfast. In the evening before bed, if somebody's still hungry, it really goes a long way. And it is something on the rotation regularly around here. That's it. Enjoy. So because they're having that protein hit from the strawberry milkshake first thing, I just went with a really simple breakfast for the kids, and that's sliced sourdough toast. This is a beautiful local organic sourdough. I am absolutely in awe of sourdough bakers. That is a skill set I do not have at this point in time. I would love to work on those skills in the future. Right now, I completely outsource all bread purchases. And I'm very grateful to be able to do so. So I've just toasted up maybe half a loaf of bread there. We've got a range of toppings and the children can choose what they prefer. We've got some pure strawberry jam, which is just jam with concentrated pear juice for a sweetener. And then we've got the peanut butter, 100% peanuts, and maybe some sea salt added to that as well. It's really tasty, that brand. It's very yummy. And my son here came along and asked, "Hey Mum, can I please put the peanut butter on the toast?" So of course, anytime one of my children are asking me to practice those skills that they're going to need as they grow, the answer is always a resounding yes. I really try to encourage that and just have that mindset of trying to be patient and supporting them while they're learning those skills. And honestly, he's doing a pretty good job here too. He's being a real help. So I decided to keep it simple for myself and my husband as well this morning. We had some sourdough toast ourselves, and then I just fried up a couple of eggs each for us. Our hens are currently not actually laying eggs at all. They are going through the molting process, and they've all been off the lay for, I think it's been at least 3 months now. So I am counting down the days until they start to lay eggs again. Eggs are very scarce around here at the moment, and it would be absolutely amazing to have my own produced on the property. I look forward to that. We are lucky enough where we live that there are local egg producers. I do try to support them and purchase from them. And we actually get a delivery midweek each week of a few cartons of eggs direct from one of those farms. But it never lasts the full week. So I find that by the end of the week, I just have to look at meals that really stretch eggs further than just eating an egg each, if that makes sense. So here I'm just melting butter. I'm getting ready to make some burger bun dough. Burgers have been requested on the menu for a few days now. It was pretty funny as my son was recovering from his flu, from his illness. All he could think about was food. So he'd had all those few days where he just wasn't feeling well enough to enjoy eating. And it was real basic stuff like toast. But as soon as he came out of that and started to feel more himself, it was, hey, Mum, when can we have burgers? Hey, Mum, when can we have pizza? You know, all these things that are general on the rotation around here, and we hadn't had them for a while. So I was happy to oblige. I love making these. I do enjoy working with dough. I just find instant yeast dough so much easier. So here I'm just adding the ingredients into the mixer, so the stand mixer does the work for me. This is why I bought it. It was really just outsourcing again and having a bit more help, another set of hands, because when you are feeding your family all day, every little bit that can help goes a long way, and I really appreciate that help. As you can see, this is a lovely, soft, enriched dough. These are honey wheat burger buns. So the ingredients are yeast, water, honey, melted butter. There is an egg in there as well, and then flour. I'll just let the stand mixer beat this for a minute or two. It does not take long at all. And then we will let the dough, set it aside and let it rise for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, until it's doubled in size. And then we'll move on to the next step from there. So I just leave the dough in the bowl that I've mixed it up in, and I pop that off to the side. Somewhere warm and sunny is absolutely ideal, or somewhere under the heater if it's a cold and rainy day like today. Now that will be ready for a late lunch today, or a dinner. Now I'm moving on to making some chocolate cookies. So these are made of maple syrup, butter, egg. We've got cassava flour and almond meal in there and cacao. So it's a basic cookie dough. It's like a cakey, fluffy cookie, and just something to perk up our spirits, fill up our tummies, give us a little bit of energy as we wait for the bun dough to rise and then have our later lunch here. Now the children were gifted some Easter chocolate. So we've got quite a few chocolate bunnies hanging around the house at the moment, and I had one volunteered to me to incorporate into these chocolate cookies. So after I've rolled out the dough and popped them on a baking tray, I've just taken some pieces of that chocolate Easter bunny and put a little piece on top of each cookie. So these were a good and stable way for the kids to enjoy a snack. I find that the almond meal, being very nutrient dense, quite protein rich, is a really good way to enjoy a sweet snack. That coupled with the sweetener, the maple syrup in this case, is just such a good way to stop that sugar hitting your bloodstream at a full heavy rate here. The fat absorbs some of that sugar and just slows it down a bit so that you've got a bit more of an even release of energy. Now, I also need to add something to that almond meal because almond meal itself can be quite dense, can be quite heavy, although it does work in some applications. I like to mix cassava flour in as well at a rate of about maybe 2/3 almond meal, 1/3 cassava flour. And there are many things you can use that aren't cassava. You can use tapioca starch, you can use brown rice flour, but there's even more than that these days. There's green banana flour, lots of things I haven't even researched myself and used in my own home. But cassava flour is easy for me to buy in good quality, and I know from reading about it that it is actually a vegetable, so it's a starchy vegetable root, and it is quite nutrient dense in itself. So I'm happy with that as a homemade gluten-free flour mix. The burger bun dough has risen nicely. It's doubled in size. So I've just taken it out of the mixer bowl. I've got it on my surface here with a little bit of flour, and I'm just rolling it out into a long thin log. Then I'm going to cut that log into 8 equal parts. That's the buns. So this recipe makes 8 burger buns. At the moment, that's perfect for my family. The little children, my 3-year-old, my 1-year-old, they won't eat a whole bun. So it's absolutely fine. It goes as far as it needs to. I quite enjoy this burger bun recipe. It feels light and fluffy. It's very simple. It really just takes that time to allow the dough to rise. But once you've got that into your schedule, it's all good. Make that dough in the morning, let it sit, and then it will be ready to bake for lunchtime. So now I'm moving on to getting the beef patties ready. I keep it really simple. This is just beef mince that I had delivered from that online butcher, Provenir. I'm very happy with the meat that I received from them. It is absolutely delicious. You can tell that it is grass-fed straight from the farmer. The quality is really good, especially considering the price. Good value. Anyway, moving on. So I've just added to this beef mince some dried onion flakes, some dried parsley, some dried dill, simply because those are the dried herbs that I have. They just add flavour. Then I've added a bit over a teaspoon of sea salt and plenty of fresh black pepper. Now the thing about minced beef and pepper, it just doesn't taste spicy. It doesn't taste hot in any way. It just gives it that really delicious meaty burger flavour. So I really suggest put that pepper in your burgers. Now you can see I haven't added anything. It doesn't need any flour. It doesn't need starch. It doesn't need egg. It's nothing but beef mince. When I shape these, they hold perfectly well in the pan. There's absolutely no problem. And they really taste good as a 100% beef mince burger. So I like to shape these patties in the thinner, sort of smashed burger style. I find that they fry much more quickly, they're easier to eat, they are absolutely delicious on the burger buns. Now my kids love them with melted cheddar cheese on top. So I've done a pan full for them first, which has the melted cheese, and then I will have another pan full, which is plain for those who prefer it that way. Here I've got our burger fixings all laid out. We keep it very simple. A little bit of salad, some diced pickle, diced raw onion, And then we've got our tomato sauce, mayo, and mustard. I don't think I had mayo available actually. If I do, I tend to make a homemade burger sauce, which it is just mayonnaise, tomato sauce, and mustard mixed together. Really tasty. I also have some pickled beetroot there, which is very much an Australian style burger topping. It is delicious. You should really try it sometime. So these burger buns came out of the oven looking really good. I'm very happy with them today. That's interesting because I substituted honey for sugar. I'm actually out of coconut sugar at the moment, so I used honey instead, and they seem to have worked so well in this dough. I'm really happy with it. So I've actually not timed this particularly well. So my buns were in the oven right as I was frying burgers, and the whole family was hungry. So I had to go ahead and just grab these burger buns hot out of the oven and start assembling burgers for people. Thanks for keeping me company today as I go about my daily routine. If you enjoy this kind of content, please feel free to let me know by commenting, subscribing, or liking the video. That way I know you're out there and you're watching and you'd like to see more of these. Now I've gone to feed the pigs. After I fed the family, there's always hungry animals that need more attention. So I like to feed the pigs in the evening while the sun goes down now in the autumn time. And it really is a special time of day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.